Are your finish line goals ruining your dreams? That's a serious question right there. Hey guys, it's Crystal Fry, your personal identity coach, and that's what I want to talk to you about. Are your finish line goals ruining your dreams? And this actually came from a conversation that I had with my oldest son I guess maybe about a week ago, maybe a little less than a week. I was actually gave him this piece of advice as it was one of our last conversations before he left for boot camp. So he's going to be gone for a while, but as we were having this conversation, we were talking about, what to expect, like, what is he going to be going through? And I was telling him, you're going to be pushed, to your limits physically, mentally, emotionally, maybe even spiritually, right? You're going to be pushed. Boot camp is not a joke. It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. But what I told him in that process, what I really wanted him to do, I told him, I said, you know what? Do me a favor. Don't set a finish line for yourself. Don't set a finish line for whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's the physical task or whatever it is. Don't set a finish line, because what happens when we reach the finish line? The race is over. We're done. We quit. We stop, right? We stop because we've reached the finish line. Now, listen, I'm not talking about like your goals, right? I'm not talking about achieving a goal, because invariably when you achieve a goal, there's usually one that comes after that, right? They're stepping stones. You use them as you progress up. But when you create a finish line for yourself, you already go ahead and mentally tell yourself, okay, well, when I get there, I'm done. I can quit. And so again, I'm talking about these finish line goals. Again, let me rephrase that. Yeah, your finish line goals, that when you hit it, you're done. How is that serving you? And again, I was talking to my son about this as he was getting ready to go off to boot camp, and we were talking about really how far he's going to stretch over the next period of time that he's gone. How far he's going to have to push himself beyond what his perceived limits are, so that he can do the things that he has decided he wants to do in his life. He's going to have to stretch his belief in himself. And as we were having this conversation, I didn't realize how much, here I am trying to be mom and give him some advice, right? I didn't realize how much those words were going to impact me as I started to reflect on them. Because I started to ask myself, well, gosh, Crystal, how many finish lines have you set? How many places have you, how many different things have you come to where you've set a finish line instead of just simply a goal to accomplish? Because again, when you get to the finish line, what do? You stop. And if we stop when we get to the finish line, we're not going to get to where we want to go. So think about that. Are you setting finish line goals that are not propelling you forward, that are giving you a stopping point? Or are you setting runway goals? That was the other thing I talked to him about. Don't look at the challenge in front of you as a finish line, because when you do, you will stop. You will never know what you are really capable of if you stop at the finish line. So think of it like a runway, right? Airplanes take off on a runway, right? They get up enough speed and then that's it, they go. So as you're setting your goals, think about your goals as runway goals. They are taking you on that path to where you want to go, not finish lines. Because again, when you hit the finish line, you stop. And so as I really started to think about that, I came up with more instances than I wanted to admit to myself, on places where I've gone, okay, well, yeah, I did that, so I'm done. But I can't be done. And you can't be done either. Not if you really want to achieve those things that you said you wanted to achieve. And again, I'm not talking about goals. I'm talking about the lifestyle that you want. I'm talking about being able to provide for your family in a way that you're not currently doing. I'm talking about being able to, I talked several videos ago about being able to imagine your perfect day. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not going to get to the manifestation of your perfect day if you are setting finish line goals. So that is what I'm in here talking to you about tonight. And so as you come in, say hello so that I can say hello back to you. Thank you for joining me. If you are just joining, we're talking about finish line goals. And I want to go ahead and be very transparent here and tell you there is no finish line. If you want to accomplish some amazing things in your life, you can't have a finish line for those things. We don't arrive and then we're just there, because we have to continue that pattern of growth. We have to continue that pattern of striving forward. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't enjoy the journey. That doesn't mean that you don't practice gratitude for the things that you have accomplished. That doesn't mean that you have a sense of, no matter what I do, it's never going to be good enough. No, that means you are building those goals on top of each other so that you can continue to get to where it is that you want to be. You can continue to get there. Ladies and gentlemen, your finish line is the day that you leave this planet, the day that you leave this earth. Whatever you believe happens after your life is over, that's your finish line. Not getting that promotion, not, getting your kids out of the house, right? Yes, if you have kids, listen, one of the overarching goals for parents is to raise children and get them out of our house, right? Not because we don't love them, but because we want them to grow up to be adults and have their own lives. And then we want to still have some measure of life after they're gone, right? Well, if you're setting finish line goals and you're not thinking about what comes next, what are you going to do when you get there? Use the example with your kids. And again, this conversation started with my oldest son. He just left several days ago for boot camp. So he's going to be gone for a while. He's decided that that's the career he wants to, that's what he wants to do with his life. That's what he wants to invest in. We were talking about, the ability to push beyond your perceived limits. Because ladies and gentlemen, we all have them. We all have that make-believe set of boundaries that we believe we are capable of. It's a nice little box. Usually it's called our comfort zone. And that's all we believe we're capable of. So as we were talking about this, I told him, don't set a finish line for your challenges, because when you hit the end, when you hit the finish line, you're going to stop. And if you stop, you're never going to know exactly what you're capable of. You know that you can get there and then you stop. What if you keep going? What if you keep going? And for my entrepreneurs, this is for you as well. This is really especially for you. For my people who want to, push through and, write books and be on stage and do all of those things, this is for you. You have to be setting runway goals that are going to build and build that momentum so that you can take off into doing what it is that you want to do. If you set a finish line goal, you're going to stop after you get there. So think about that, because this is a mindset thing. And like I said, as I was reflecting on this, I didn't realize how much this was going to impact me while I was trying to give advice to my son. But seriously, you guys, how many places are you actually setting finish line goals and you stop and you don't actually know whether or not you can go further because you didn't try, because you stopped when you got to the end of it? Hey, Lady D, how are you, honey? Thank you for being here with me tonight. We are talking about finish line goals and how they could very quite possibly be ruining your dreams. Because again, if we're not building and growing and continuing to move forward, if we're stopping, we're not going to get what it is that we really want. For most of us, we want the ability to have some freedom of choice in what we do with our lives, right? You don't want to be just stuck to waking up and doing the thing and going to bed and waking up the next morning and doing it again. And again, I'm not saying that everybody, that entrepreneurship is for everyone. There are plenty of people, you guys, my husband is very happy going to work and coming home. That is what he likes to do, right? That works for him. But he has goals in other places too, right? And he has that measure of success in his own way. again, I will remind you all that success is your definition of success. It's what it looks like for you. It's what it looks like for you. It's not what it looks like for everyone else. My husband's definition of success looks very different from mine. And rightly so. We're two very different people. So please keep that in mind. Okay, your definition of success, you need to be doing the things that are going to build you toward that success, whatever that looks like for you. Okay, whatever it looks like for you, you need to be building runway goals. Think of it as a launch pad. Okay, runway, launch pad, those things, those words bring up images of takeoff, right? And you build, even on a spaceship, right? It's been a while since I thought about NASA. So a spaceship, what happens? You have all of this stuff that churns and churns and churns. And there's so much that has to go into this massive combustion that has to lift this giant, I don't even know how much they weigh. They're really, really heavy. This thing up into the air, right? That's what your goals need to be for you. They need to be a launch pad for your success, not a finish line. Because if you reach the finish line, you stop. So make your goals, okay? Map out your plan. Work your plan. Understand that you may need to pivot. You may need to make adjustments. Be open to that. You may have to go with the flow a little bit more than you're comfortable with. You may have to get outside your comfort zone. Those things are all good. It's all part of the process. Rest when you need it. Take a break if you must. Please take a break when it's time to take a break. But whatever you do, do not quit. Do not believe your perceived limitations of yourself and what you're capable of. Because I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, you are capable. Every single person watching this video, whether you're live, whether you are watching in the replay, whether you never see this video, okay, this is for all of those people too. You are capable of so much more than you can imagine, of so much more than you can even begin to outline for yourself. And how do I know that? Been there. I am still understanding the depth of my abilities and what I am capable of. And I've gotten rid of that thinking that I have limitations. You guys, we don't have limitations. The only limitations that we have are the ones that we put on ourselves. And a lot of times we do that based on what we see around us, right? Our perceptions of things around us, things people have told us, all of those things. But truth be told, we don't have limitations. We just don't. Our Creator endowed us with some really amazing things. One of the most amazing things that we got was this brain that we have in between our ears and all of the wonderful, amazing things that it is capable of. If we will take the blinders off and take the limitation box away from us, and let me tell you, what I can imagine now is different from what I could imagine 3 years ago. There are a lot of things that I look at now that I'm looking forward to, that I have goals about now that I would have never even allowed myself to think about 3 or 4 years ago. So that's the other wonderful thing. Your mind has the ability to expand and grow and learn and get into new spaces. So do not set finish line goals. Use your goals as a runway, as a launch pad to get you and propel you toward your success, whatever that looks like for you. All right, guys, that is what I have for you tonight about finish line goals potentially ruining your dreams. They will. If you're just joining, go back and watch from the beginning. A lot of really great stuff in here tonight. Really, 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 this touched me as I was trying to give advice to my older son as he is starting his journey With boot camp, I am sad because he's not here, but I am very proud of him because it's his choice, it's his decision, and he is taking those steps to achieve what success looks like for him. So I encourage you all to do the same, no matter what it looks like for you. All right, guys, this is Crystal Fry, your personal identity coach, supporting women in life and in business to find their identity, love the woman that they are, so that they can transform their lives into legacies. I'll see you guys all again real soon. Take care.